Guys, Rumblysuperset here, back again, this time doing another news update for you guys. Some of you guys may have already seen this, it was leaked before, but they did just drop the news in the Vainglory Twitter page today about the epic Spider Queen Kestrel skin coming to a Vainglory near you. Pretty excited, although the splash art, if you guys take a notice of where she's drawing the string from, I got an amazing picture painted for me by Bladeheart. He basically says he thinks it's stupid because, one, she's drawing the string from the spider's ass, and then she's firing it through its mouth. Oh, jeez. I gotta feel bad for that spider. She's like sexually abusing her. But anyways, let's go ahead and go down. It says, Sylvan Kestrel's story continues with a necessary trek to the world of subterranean elves. Read on to discover how Kestrel became the Spider Queen and sealed off the island well from humankind. Alright, so there's her in-game. You can see her. She has like this spandex spider web type of thing. And then she has, again, the spider spider bow with the string she pulls out of the ass and then fires through its mouth. Everything as far as visuals, I think the A might look somewhat similar to the standard look, but the B definitely is different. It has a little spider web she lays out with a egg or something in the middle, I guess. And then her ultimate looks really cool too. It's more of a bluish purple look rather than more of a bright, vibrant baby blue. And then again, there she is in a crouching pose, looking pretty cool. Alright, so model and effect changes. Kestrel has transformed into a dark elf. Well, white hair and red eyes, queen's web headdress with magenta jewel, spider mother bow with webs, golden elf leafy armor, spider silk webbed costume, drops exploding spider sacks for active camo, elvish leap during glimmer shot, spins into the new pose for one shot, one kill, and then shoots spider silk into the air that pulls her up and recalls her back to base. So her recall looks pretty cool, I guess. It looks like as well, because she actually has a special emote just for the skin. Alright, so we have the alternate fate lore. A lot of you guys actually enjoyed when I read this stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and read it. It is fairly long and dry, so I mean, I like the lore. It's not dry to me, but some of you guys might find it's dry because it's just me reading. But if this is what you enjoy, I'll go ahead and get going here. So we have the Spider Mother. The island well was, as the King Stag had said, overrun with humankind, contaminated and burbling black tar instead of the clear, healing water that had been revered by the forest creatures and protected by the sanctimonious rites since the first memory. Kestrel, the wood elf princess, led the fight against the humans. Kestrel, with her bow named Sparrow, ended many human lives. Bear, wolf, and deer fought together, trampling and mauling those who had harmed the well in their selfishness and ignorance. Hares and badgers and snakes, too, joined the fray, and birds dove to peck out human eyes. God, this sounds brutal. The battle was well won by the forest creatures, but they suffered losses, and their victory did not last even a full moon cycle before more humans came, drawn by the stories of the healing well. From the tallest tree, Kestrel watched them come. The owls joined her. We will rouse the animals for the next fight, said the owls. The humans outnumbered us, said Kestrel. She slid her fingertips along the edges of her wings, her mouth twisting. Seek out my family and call them to war. The Sylvan elves have retreated into the mist, reported the owls. Kestrel considered this without expression, that I must seek out the elves below, which are the spider elves, I guess. The owls widened their round eyes. The elves below did not care about our world. Our world is their world, and all are one. Kestrel dropped to the ground and called with a low, throaty growl, for the badgers. I guess they're called badgers. The matriarch of the clan came with her family behind her, squinting in the bright light. Take me below, commanded Kestrel. The soul was dubious, but dared not disobey the elf, so she led the way to her den. Kestrel crawled on her belly to enter, but once inside, the den widened to a narrow network of caves and tunnels through which the badgers led her. Together they burrowed deep underground, filling the way along the dark, in the dark, until at last they came to an ancient door that glowed violet around the edges. The badgers snuffed with worry. Kestrel knelt to kiss the matriarch between her eyes before stepping alone through the door and into the capital city of the below. The only light that came from a phosphorescent mushrooms that grew on the roots and ground, and in great numbers up the sides of tall spires. Kestrel stood in silence as the proud and beautiful dark elves of the below surrounded her, so dark elves. Arrows fitted to their bows, standing sideways at the ready. White hair spilled below, or spilled down their backs in stark contrast to their skin, the color of midnight. They wore jeweled armor and gowns made of spider silk, and their eyes glowed red. "I am the princess of the tangled wood," said Kestrel. "I call on you to help us defeat the humans who have contaminated the island well, and to seal it until it has been forgotten by humankind." The dark elves looked at one another. One of them said, "Wars above come and go, as do wars below. Your dispute with the humans does not concern us." "Our world is your world, and all worlds are one," said Kestrel. All elves above and below knew the words of wisdom. The dark elves lowered their bows. "Even so, only the Spider Queen may command us." "Call the Spider Queen to me," ordered Kestrel. "The Spider Mother has not chosen a queen," said one of the dark elves. "Then I shall be chosen. Take me to her." The dark elves laughed at Kestrel's audacity, but her gaze did not waver, and so they led her to the temple made of gold and shaped like a spider. The domed ceiling of the bulbous body of the temple was draped with webs upon webs, and hanging from the webs were thousands of silken white sacks. At the center of the webs, a giant black spider perched. Kestrel unstrapped the bow from her back and snapped a magical arrow into existence into her right hand. "Why does a wood elf come to me?" asked the Spider Mother. "To be chosen the Spider Queen," said Kestrel. "Only a creature of the below may be Spider Queen," said the spider. "So be it," said Kestrel. "Drop your bow," said the Spider Mother. "If you pass the test, we will be your weapons." "When I pass," but Kestrel obeyed. Resting the bow named Sparrow on the golden floor and extinguishing the magic arrow. "What is your test?" "Feed my children and survive." Oh, that sounds very scary. And with that, the sacks broke open, and spiderlings emerged from them, hundreds of thousands, each the size of Kestrel's hand. They fled down the webs to the floor and crawled up her legs. They dropped into her hair, hissing. They bared their fangs and sank them into Kestrel's flesh, injecting them with venom. Their stings shot through her, but she gritted her teeth to keep them from crying out in pain. She refused also to close her eyes when the spiderlings tore their wings from her back, staring up instead of the Spider Mother. The black venom spread under her skin, turning it the same midnight color as the dark elves of the below. Her hair whitened and her vision swam with blood, but not for a moment did she consider dying, and so she did not. After what felt like an eternity, the spiderlings had eaten their fill, and Kestrel still stood. The Spider Mother crawled down the webs to the ground before the Spider Queen and bowed. "I am your weapon," she said. And so the Spider Queen emerged from the badger's den, transformed, with an army of dark elves and spiders behind her, blinking their red eyes in the glare. The army set upon the island well with their blades and arrows and poisons, and when they had made a ruin of the greedy humans, the spiders wove a thick silken web over the well that sealed its magic away from the world. So there we go. Woo! Long story, guys. Story time is over. So there we go. So basically, she was in need of assistance during the war against the humans to protect the well. She went down. She talked to the Spider Queen. The Spider Queen says, "No, you cannot be queen unless you feed my children and basically become one of us." And so she did. She didn't die when she probably should have, and therefore she was gifted the Spider Queen title because she is of kind of high power here, it looks like. And so there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this news update for you guys. It is, again, the Spider Queen Kestrel, as you can see there. Looks pretty sexy, I gotta say. But there we are. So she becomes from a standard elf to, or forest elf, to like a dark elf, where she pulls out spider silk from a spider's ass and fires it through its mouth. There you go. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Later.